Welcome to week 7 of the Elestriad, where JadeJonny, representing Zeus and the Thunder Pantheon, is throwing down against ShadyPenguinn, representing Hephaestus and the Fire Pantheon. This is a clash of epic proportions, as Johnny is sitting at 4-2, and Shady is sitting at 3-3, which means that if ShadyPenguinn can win this one, he gives himself a chance to be a lock for playoffs. Johnny really doesn't have a ton to lose here. It's really close in these standings, but he's got to make sure that he wins to secure his slot, as we could be headed towards a 3-way tie. If the cards fall in a certain way, it could get pretty nuts. So keep an eye out for these casters to bring their A game this week. Let's find out what they're opening for their last openings of the Elestriad, and then let's see what they're bringing. Be sure to hit that like button down below, leave a comment who you got on this one, and make sure you guys subscribe. Let's dive in and see what they're opening.
Yo, what is up? It's your boy JadeJonny back here in the Elestriad. Hi, how you doing? We're coming off the back of beating Drewby, our very good friend Drewby, and now what we're going to be doing is going into our match against ShadyPenguinn. Now, he's one of the few players I actually know a lot about whenever it comes to like card games, because I like watched his card game content for so long. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing something fun, because it looks like right now what it looks like is we are guaranteed top cut. I'm going to relook at it again, and this might change in the deck profile, because I don't know what he's pulled for week 6 or week 7 yet, so this might change in the deck profile. But right now, it looks like we're going to be bringing fruit. So, this week, we're going to be opening up Wind.
All right, here we are in the final week of the Elestriad, and unfortunately, my recording just failed. But thankfully, I opened up the artist promo pack. So this is what we ended up going with. I can't like redo the opening, right? I can't reseal it, but thankfully we didn't do 6 packs. I was so close to doing 6 packs. Thankfully we didn't do that, so there's no like, you know, fuss and fuss about it. It's the same cards that are available in all of these, and I've gone ahead and put the cards that I'll most likely be using. Not that I need, but most likely be using. I'm probably going to be using Jolton this week. I'm not sure about Quackle. I might be using Quackle. There's 2 of them though, and he's adorable. Mistation I am probably using. That'll be a nice addition. This Sorlet, if I go back to Wind, which I probably am, because the whole reason I opened this was actually for the Exaltair. I want to run 3 Exaltair. I only have 2 right now. I was going to consider opening 6 packs and risking the biscuit, but I didn't, and I'm glad that I didn't. Because then we got that.
I have refused to open up Wind for the longest time, because I think that it is probably my least favorite deck in general. I'm a very aggressive player. Wind has a very aggressive play style right out of the box, but hear me out. We can get resting on your laurels out of this. And we're going to need that going into Top Cut, because I think that we're going to be looking at a lot of go wide stuff in Top Cut. And let's see if we can pull a Stellar Hydrake, just to like kind of like say MBT. We got one too. So, Pinter, no Stellar Hydrake. Okay, so we're really just going to be dismissing a lot of these pulls. I don't think any of this is worth playing outside of like Exaltair, because I just really love the bird. And with the new ruling change that has gone into effect at this point, it's only been like a day, like 4 days maybe, tops. At this point, it's only been like 4 days, but in reality, it's like by the time you see this, it's probably going to be like a month. So, but yeah, so with the new ruling change going into effect, Exaltair is a lot less good, especially in the decks that we're looking at playing. But getting access to all these Wind Spirits is going to be extremely helpful, so that we can finally play Sorlet, because we've never had enough Wind Spirits to justify playing Sorlet before. So now we do. And that being said, I'll give a really brief overview of the pulls that we got, so we can have a little discussion about it. So really, there's only a couple things that we pulled that's actually worth mentioning, and I think we've mentioned them all. We have the 2 Exaltairs, which is going to be very good for Nexus, but unfortunately, we're not really playing any targets to Nexus off of. But I do like bringing up the fact that it exists, because this is my favorite card outside of set 2. So this is awesome. I love this. I love the art on this card, and it is my favorite. Except maybe the AC. The AC might be a little better, but it's still Exaltair, so hey, you know, hey, what's up? Anyways, and then we're playing 2 Resting on Your Laurels. Resting on Your Laurels is a very powerful card. I'm expecting to fall behind at some point in Top Cut, and this is going to let me recover in Top Cut. It's just the nature of the game, so we're just gonna plan for it. And then our last Tornado. Tornado is a lot more cost efficient than Thunderstorm. So who knows? This might actually, you know, end up being like an insanely powerful card going into Top Cut. Yeah, that being said, let's jump into the deck profile.
Now the rest of these are really cool cards. But really only Sonicore. Maybe I use Sluggle and Galexia. I'm really torn about what I'm going to do with my deck. I'm either going to lean really heavy into the Water Fire again, or I'm going to bounce back to Wind and try to do some Wind Fire action. But truthfully, I think we're going to end up on the Exaltair. I'd love to win a game with Burn in general, since we flopped really hard the last 2 weeks with Burn. But I think going to Wind Burn with Exaltair, and I just think Wind has a lot more going for it. Like, think about it. This is going to force my opponent to expend 2 spirits, and that is only 1 less than the Krakatuga. But this, you just have to Nexus 1 Wind, and you get that effect. So this is really, really strong. I want to try to see if I can make it happen. Now that I have all my defensive runes in place, I feel like there's a chance that I'll be able to survive a little bit better. And then Sorlet's just incredible. It's a really, really good Elestral. It's 5/1 that can change positioning is just nuts. So that's what I opened this week. Let's get to deck building and see where we're at.
So it seems like both these casters got exactly what they were looking for. Johnny was trying to grab those Resting on Your Laurels, those Exaltairs, and Shady, of course, opened up the Artist Pack to get a handful of awesome holographic cards, including an Exaltair of his own to further enhance his burn strategy. He really wants to burn out his opponent, so let's find out if this is going to be the week. JadeJonny, what do you bring in against ShadyPenguinn?
And we're back with the deck profile. Hi everybody, what's up? So, we are going to start with the runes because I feel as though we've been starting with, the Elestrals, and it's all basically the same land. And I kind of want to go over a couple things. So, start off, we're going to be playing with three Ambrosia, because Ambrosia is just, that strong of a card. We have 3 Earthquake because we wanted to be able to destroy our opponent's Elestrals and be able to manage the board a lot easier. 3 Tsunamis in case we need to play defensively, blah, 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 blah. 2 PTAs because we only have access to 2 PTAs, it's Celestial removal. 3 Shield of Achilles because it's just a very powerful rune in general. 2 Gorgon's Gaze because Gorgon's very powerful. Rise from the Ashes because I want to be able to surprise my opponents. Then we have 2 Foley Forest. It's just really good. Then we have 3 Golden Apple of Discord. If you guys could tell, I'm clearly not playing Thunder Nexus today. And the reason being is because a couple members of the community have put a very compelling argument for me to be playing a different deck. Shoutouts to Baboons and Zaddy for kind of doing what I need to do to be able to fail this deck. And so I'm stuck playing this deck thanks to chat. Thanks, guys. 3 Golden Apple of Discords, which is going to allow us to be able to get our Latagon out and be able to pop stuff a lot easier with the Rise from the Ashes. We have Pandasin because Pandasin's a very powerful card. Being able to recycle those Ambrosias, this Golden Apple of Discords, we want to be able to get our fruit pieces back, so this is going to allow us to do so. We have 3 Tektoros because it's a very defensive card and a very offensive card at the same time. I feel as though Shady is going to be playing Fire, and this is going to allow us to attack over most of his stuff very easily or force out a Gorgon's Gaze. We have Equalings at 3 copies because we want to be able to remove our opponent's runes from the board. A lot of this game is going to come down to who has the more runes or the better runes, and we're going to make sure that that's us. We have 3 Jataya so we can get our draw support going. We have 3 Rummagem to search out our pieces. We have 3 Clovey to draw on cards. We have Scavengem because it allows us to search out Latagon, and because it allows us to search out runes as well. So, I'm probably memeing right now, and honestly, I'm okay with memeing for this week. Because I'm pretty sure it looks like I've locked in my place for Top Cut. If Coder has anything to say about it, Coder's told me that I have. So I'm gonna trust Coder, and I'm gonna trust the fact that I know how to play Fruit very well. We're playing Fruit this week, boys. No more Thunder Nexus for this week. Next week, probably. This week, no. But that being said, we're going to jump into Spirits. I expect him to play Burn, so I'm playing the Pyro so I can Rise from the Ashes back Latagon and enchant it with Fire. Misenchant it with Fire so that we play around the Eruptions. Playing Leviathan so that we can play around the Tsunamis and also play our own Tsunamis. Then the rest are just Earthquake. So we're playing 3 non-Earth, and then we're playing 17 Terratlas for the Earthquake. So I'm really excited to see how I play against Fruit, or how I play Fruit. Because I'm not the most experienced with the deck, but at the same time, what chat wants, chat gets, and chat wanted me to do this, so Again, baboons, Zaddy, thank you, and let's hope this doesn't blow up in our faces horribly.
It looks like Iron Boffin is not the only caster in the Elestriad running fruit. JadeJonny bringing fruit for his final clash in an opportunity to try to clinch playoffs may prove to be a little bit risky, or will it ultimately be very fruitful? Let's find out what ShadyPenguinn's bringing this week. We've known that he wants to bring Burn. He got those Exalters. Is he going to continue to stick with Krakatuga? Let's find out.
All right, so the time has come for the final week of the Elestriad, and I have my deck right here, right next to my face. And I really wanted to rep Hephaestus for the last week just to be, you know, cute, but unfortunately it just wasn't in the stars for me. I was trying to build some sort of Bag of Wind deck that would use Hephaestus to search for that and then do Burn, but the deck works better with just a single Divine Rune. We're gonna go over the deck now, and we'll get all of our runes out of the way. They're pretty standard, to be honest with you, nothing too spicy or zesty. We got our double Shield of Achilles, double Resting on Your Laurels. I almost took this out this week, but I decided let's just keep it. Let's hope what happens. This is a new edition, and I'll be honest, I didn't realize I had these in my card pool until last night when I was building. I forgot that these came in the starter decks because I was looking for a card that would allow me to Nexus outside of my Elestrals, and this is one of them. There's another one that I think there's Altar of the Stars, where you can Nexus and then change the position of Elestral, so it has like a built-in Sorlet effect. I would love that card in my pool, but I don't have it. So instead we're running Circle the Sky, which is just going to be pay 1, Nexus 2, draw 1. This is really going to be used, I'll just tell you guys now, with with P-Gust. It's really going to, this is the whole hope, is that P-Gust can pop off with this card. Nectar of the Gods, we're playing at 2. So we have draw power there between those two cards. We got 2 poison-tipped arrows for your liking, double Gorgon's Gaze, triple Ambrosia, and triple Tsunami. So that's pretty standard lineup for what I have in my pool. I think that it's fine. I think that Resting on Your Laurels is the only one where I was considering taking out at this point in the Elestriad, but it's fine. So we are going with the Divine Rune Alos. Dude, I always butcher your name. I'm so sorry. You're a bag of wind. Here we go. So we got 2 of these. I guess it was moist in my office last night. It's like you know when your cards stick together. Anyway, don't worry about it. We got 2 of our Divine Rune. We got 1 Island of Aeolia. A single one. So this is like, I've noticed that a lot of people are not playing their Stadium Runes anymore. I personally am going to play mine because it has a very specific synergy in this deck. Let's see what it is. We have triple Astrabbit. It is the best card in the game. We're not talking about it any longer. We have our Artist Pack Jolton. Ooh, you'll love to see it. And then we have an Elechick to search out a Divine Rune. So Jolton searching out the Stadium Rune. I'm only running 1. Why not just run 2 Stadium Runes instead for consistency? It's not really about that, honestly. I would have rather run 2 Joltons, but there just wasn't room in the build for me right now. Because, I don't want to draw... I wanted to draw Jolton, play it, and then get the Stadium Rune, so it thins my deck. It's not just to see the Stadium Rune. It's also the deck thinning that's really important in my mind. Then we're playing, and I know this is going to be surprising, but triple Mustation. Now this is where I should have been about 2 weeks ago with this game, right? So especially after last week when I lost to one of my Elestrals getting Sorleted, I realized this card might be broken. And not broken, but really, really good at slowing the game down. Because this can be a 1/7, I'm sorry, a 2/7 if I cast it with a Wind Spirit and have Island of Aeolia out. 7 is pretty hard to get over. I'm not gonna lie. 7's a pretty big number in this game in general. And if I ever start nexusing more spirits onto it just to make it a wall and I get feisty, it's a dicey card. So really the use of this card is going to be to slow the game down and to build a wall. Just having 1 Mustation out in defense, even if I don't have Island, it's still a 1/6 that can't be Sorleted. Not that I know if my opponent is even capable of running Sorlet, if I'm honest with you, but it feels really nice. And it feels like something I should have been doing a long time ago. A 1/6 that can't be Sorleted as a 1-drop sounds really, really dangerous. Then we have our Wind, the creme de la creme, P-Gust. I've learned that this game is all about the back row, baby, and we need a way to get rid of it, so we are running triple P-Gust. When P-Gust receives 1 or more Wind Spirit, you can target, destroy a rune. That's where Circle of the Sky is going to come into play. Obviously, ideal opening hand is going to be P-Gust, Aeolus, and Circle of the Sky. That would allow me to pop 2 back row if I'm going second, and if I'm going first and I have that, then I have time to stall. I might even play Aeolus frame 1 and risk the biscuit. I'm not sure. But that'll be Pegasus. Then of course we have Exaltair. So this is like basically my win con, I would call it, because this allows me to Nexus up to 2, and when you do, I deal 2 burn damage. I'm still on the burn kick, even though I'm off of the fire water burn. I really do like burn, and this is just such a cheaper. It's just so much more cost efficient. You just have to Nexus things. I mean, you have to have a field presence, so it is very different. Whereas Krakatuga, you're just paying a cost. So I understand why they're, why they're different. Why Krakatuga is the way that it is. But the idea that I can just Nexus to burn 2, and I can Nexus onto P-Gust and burn a rune as well in the back row, or a stadium, or a divine rune, whatever. It seems really, really good, and I really want to see it come to fruition now that I think I have the back row support to like keep P-Gust alive one turn, right? Like I can play it turn 1, and as long as it doesn't get EQ'd or popped that way, I should be able to keep it alive again because of all the back row I have available to me. And then finally we have triple Sorlet, the bane of my existence. We're using the Artist as well because it's beautiful and I want to use it. And this you can expend 1 to change the condition of an Elestral if it is, unless it's wind enchanted. So that's the whole thing, right? That's why Mistation with a wind spirit gets around it. So that's going to be great. Then our final card is Sorlet's big old form, Cryosaur, which can attack directly and regenerate 2 wind spirit from your underworld. This can be a pretty good closer if my opponent thinks that, like, if I get into a situation where I'm set up with back row, right, and I can get 2 Exaltair on the board, and I can start Nexusing, dealing 4 damage, and deal 6 damage in 1 turn, I mean, it could be a beautiful thing. We'll see what happens, though. This is the last week of, I don't know what we'd call this, the round robin. So we'll see if we can win this game and close out positive at the very least.
I gotta say, this is looking to be a pretty epic clash. Johnny's bringing fruit, full-on fruit, of course, and Shady is bringing a combination of wind and a little bit of thunder with a little bit of water with those Mistation defense to try to bring Exaltair Burn with the A-List and Island of Aeolia. And those Cryzors, that could be really cool to see that hit the field. This should be an epic one. And again, these 2 casters are fighting for those last playoff slots in the Elestriad. This is mega. This is huge. You don't want to miss the clash tomorrow. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys for that one. Let us know who you got.